Hello people, in this video let us look at this pediatrics topic, laws of growth. So basically how does growth happen? Are there any laws which we didn't make, by the way? God has made these laws. So basically we understand that these laws are something like, this is a continuous process. Growth is a continuous process and it's an orderly process. There is an order in which it happens. Like you have to sit, then only it will learn how to stand. So basically it's some orderly process it is, okay? And about this point, to elaborate, what they are saying is, so in fetal life, how does it grow, right? It will grow a lot in the first half of the gestation, then it will slow down, kind of a thing. They're talking about the fetus, how it grows, right? And then once it's born, okay, in the first few months, the velocity of growth will be very high. Okay. So again, remember here, once it's born, first few months, it will grow really fast, okay? Then again, there is a little slowdown. Then again, in puberty again, it will, that accelerated growth will happen. So in fetal life, the first half of the gestation, newborn, the first few months, and in puberty. So these are the places where there is really high velocity of growth, okay? Then what happens? It will slow down. So you must understand with age, it will slow down. Now coming to the second point here, growth pattern of every individual is unique. This is very important to understand, isn't it? So it's not that your child has to grow same as the neighbor's child, right? Every child is unique and it grows in its own way. But the order of growth in anybody is cephalocaudal. This is the word they're looking for in the exam, guys. Cephalocaudal is the word you have to write, but means cephalocaudal means, guys, from the head, right? Cephalocaudal, head to the tail. So this part of the body we're considering, that is, let's say the tail is here, which we don't have. By the way, this is the cephalocaudal. So what they're saying is, especially in fetal life, what they're trying to say, the growth of head occurs before that of the neck, okay? And then the arms grow before the legs, okay? So this they're saying is cephalocaudal. Then they are saying one more thing, distal to proximal. Distal to proximal, they are applying something to the limbs, okay? That seems to be something that they are applying to the limbs. So what do you mean by this distal to proximal? Okay. So which is distal? This is distal and this is proximal. So what they are saying is, the hands will increase in size and that is before the upper arms, the hands will increase in size, okay? So this is what they are saying. All these rules are for fetal life. Now let's move this as fetal. What is about postnatal? After it's born, we'll care more about that, right? Okay. After it's born, what happens? Head will slow down. Growth of head will slow down. They're not saying brain, head. But the limbs will grow nicely. Long limbs you will get. Okay, after you're born. See, one more thing, the way of understanding the cephalocaudal is just another way, though they have mentioned it for fetal life, is that when you see a newborn, right, it will first develop neck holding, okay? After neck holding, it will learn trunk, okay, and then how to sit, and then stand, okay. So basically, you can see that is also a kind of a cephalocaudal thing, right? What do you say? Now, let's go to the third point here. Guys, are you with us? We are moving to the third law here. They'll ask you 3 laws. In that 3 laws, first law was something about growth and development being continuous and orderly. Second one was unique. Each person will grow uniquely. But cephalocaudal is correct. And yeah, distal to proximal. Okay. Now let's go to the third point. Different tissue grows at different rate. Yes. How about the brain? Gonads, lymphoid growth of body fat and muscle mass. Let's look at this. Brain growth. How do you think the brain will grow? Rapidly enlarge during the latter part of the fetal life. See, in the initial part of fetal life, it is growing fast, velocity is more. The latter part of fetal life, they're saying the brain will enlarge rapidly. So it is good you stay in your mother's womb for a long time, right? Brain enlarges rapidly during the latter months of fetal life. And once it is newly born, right, that time also. The latter part of fetal life and the early months of postnatal life, the brain is going to rapidly enlarge, okay. So they are talking about head circumference, etc., that you will write. So basically, when is brain growth more? During latter part of fetal life and early neonate kind of thing, right? Early months of postnatal life. Okay. So head circumference, you have to measure how it is growing. That's very important for you as a doctor. Now, growth of gonads. Gonadal growth is dormant during childhood and it becomes more in pubescence. Right? Puberty? What do you say? Lymphoid growth. What is lymphoid growth? Lymphoid growth means what? All that lymph nodes, spleen, tonsils, all those, right? So, when is this more? In mid-childhood. Okay. Because it was free, no. Neither here nor there. Neither puberty nor the neonate and infant. Somewhere in between, nicely, lymphoid is growing. What is lymphoid? All the tonsil and lymph node and all that. Mid-childhood. So that's why, the adenoid tonsil, etc., they will regress. Remember, after 8 years, we have studied this in ENT. Remember, people. Now, let's go to the last point here, growth of body fat and muscle mass. Body tissues can be divided into fat and fat-free components, okay? So, basically, what you can understand is this muscle or skeleton or internal organs, these will have very small amount of fat, okay? So, basically, there is something called as muscle mass, remember. So, growth in lean body mass is due to increase in muscle mass. So this much is enough. Just understand that there are some things like muscle, skeleton, internal organs which have less fat. Okay. So there are two things here. Fat, right? Fat. Some things that you can say is fat and something like muscle mass. Okay. Based on whether it is a boy or a girl, they will deposit fat differently at different places. Now this is the pediatrics laws of growth. Okay. So what and all are the key terms you will write here in the exam? I will write continuous, orderly, very good. Individual is unique, cephalocaudal, distal to proximal. Then brain growth, when it will happen, gonads, lymphoid growth, body fat. Very good. Okay, that's it for now, guys. Okay, look at this graph also, very easy. I think you will crack it. Brain growth happens early. See, you can see brain growth very much in the beginning of this is the age, so in the early age. Late pubertal, gonadal growth. In between these two, we told you lymphoid growth, all the tonsils and all, then it will regress. Somatic growth all the time happening. Good, right? Bye-bye.